Man, Sheriff Nanos has bumbled this case so bad he's become the internet's punching bag. But even worse, insiders are saying he's turned the Nancy Guthrie case into a bungling ego trip. Now we're also hearing Mexican authorities were never even brought in. They said they were. Oh man, we got a lot to break down. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and look who's here. The Core 4, Steph the Alter Nerd. It's Kim. Lewis Lecca, Nerd Report. Oh my gosh, this has been such a fun stream. Make sure you go check out the full show over on popcornplanet.com. The replays will get you there. Welcome back, everybody. My favorite people are here. I wanted to keep them here as we did our recap because, yes, we're going to get into the sheriff and the media. It's still going crazy. In fact, please check out our video about Nanos coming after us directly along with Inside Edition. We need your help on that video. It's a good one. But just real quick, Mexican authorities say no formal FBI request was made. So now Brian Enton's out there, of course, doing the work, the Lord's work out there. He's the best. And nobody knows about the case. And yeah, reports are coming in that no, Mexico was never talked about. They said that they were. Reports were coming in that they were. Apparently, they haven't been. Now, while he's out there trying to find it, we're kind of back at square one. And so the mom is still missing. Savannah Guthrie's mom's still missing. And now the sheriff is out there doing interviews saying, stop coming to that parking lot and blaming me. Well, who else are we supposed to blame? You've bumbled this so badly. And in fact, the internet has punched him pretty hard, and I think justifiably so. But what's more interesting is what the insiders are now saying about the sheriff. Now, we've heard some stuff about this before, but apparently the FBI is desperate to take this over. But people inside, they're saying that this case has been doomed by the Pima County Sheriff, Chris Nanos' ego and his vendetta against the FBI, according to a rising chorus of critics. He's seen missteps like leaving Nancy Guthrie's house unguarded in the hours after the crime, baffling press interviews, and a protracted investigation that has so far yielded no clear suspects or strong leads, and after more than 2 weeks. The FBI is desperate to take over the investigation, but cannot unless the Guthrie family specifically asks. Which begs the question, why haven't they? Why are they allowing Nanos to do it? Is there something we don't know? I just feel like with this much time gone, a lot of us are losing hope. And this is it's taken too long to get where we're at, and honestly, I'm getting very worried. Real quick, I also let's get into the interviews and stuff, but I also want to plug. I'm going to put it down in the pinned comment. We do have the drone footage up. My son's new drone channel, Sky Dash Drone. Go click it out. I'll put the link down there. We'll put it at the end of this video as well. Go check out our drone coverage of both Annie and Nancy's homes. You'll get some interesting inside overview. And thanks to him. Go subscribe. Give him a like. You guys can watch that over there. But what I want to focus on, guys, and I want to get your opinions on specifically, is just how the sheriff. Let's focus on that. Why do you think? I want to start there before I get into Alma again and show some of this ridiculousness that's coming in, blaming us instead of the sheriff. Almost feels like damaged PR for the sheriff. Why do you think the Guthries haven't asked the FBI to step in at this point, given all the bumbling? I'll start with you, Lewis. You've been covering this a lot over on Nerd Report. Go show them some love. What do you think, Lewis? Why do you think they haven't asked them to come in?
I don't know if they haven't. we can't tell. Per that, what you were reading, they report one thing, then the next minute something else. And this is all because there hasn't been a press conference. They have not addressed, the sheriff has not addressed the public. Going on random corporate news outlets is not addressing the public. I'm sorry. You have to either have a press conference where everyone's invited, where people ask you questions and you answer them, or post on your official social media, which you haven't. We don't know. I don't know what Savannah and her family are thinking. God bless them. They're probably going through hell right now. They probably feel powerless. I don't know. I don't know if she's asked. She's probably worried either way. We don't know anything. Are they in Mexico? Or did they ask the Mexican authorities? Yeah, they did. Oh, next minute. No, we didn't.
It's true. We never, especially with this guy, we don't really know what's happening. Kim, do you think they've approached the FBI and asked them to help?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure, as any family would, any resource that would be made available to them, they would probably jump towards, because the goal here is finding Nancy. It's really frustrating to me that it seems like this case and its coverage has started to kind of deviate from what is really important here, which is Nancy, which is what really did happen that night. But instead, we're too busy fighting about, whether the streamers are bad or if the mainstream media should leave, or, whether or not the sheriff is offended by what's going on. And I go back to, there was one quote that he said really early on in this, saying, "I'm not used to everyone hanging on to my every word and then holding me accountable for what I say," was something he told the press. And Variety has talked about that in an article they did recently. The whole situation is just really, really bizarre. And I'm really frustrated with the amount of ego that is going on here, because ultimately it shouldn't be about that. It should be about Nancy.
Yeah, and Steph, I want to get your comment, but I want to set you up, because this is Representative Alma Hernandez out there in Arizona, basically telling all these streamers, get lost and go home.
Family to then turn around and monetize off of it is extremely outrageous. I mean, the sheriff clearly put out a statement calling on the media, but I believe what he really meant was those individuals who are not the professionals that are actually out there trying to report the facts that are coming out as we hear them. These are individuals who are truly just out there to create havoc and who are spreading misinformation in our community.
So you're glad the sheriff went?
I just get so frustrated by these generalized statements. And Steph, you've been around long enough. Yes, we've been through this battle quite a few times, don't you think? What is your response
to battle with you again, mate, whenever you need. Okay, just as
but what are your thoughts here on Alma? How dare we monetize this, Steph?
Oh, we've had that so many times. Just remind me, which network is that on right now? Is that
this
NBC?
Is on CNN.
Okay, right, because it all kind of melded.
CNN works for free, remember?
Oh, yeah, totally. And so, okay, so CNN are the professionals, right? And so we can rely on CNN to give us the real, true information as to what's going on. But how many times have we seen CNN and the rest of the mainstream media get caught out giving the public misinformation and false facts to suit a narrative that they want us to believe? Way too many times. There are too many people now in the world that are turning towards the internet, X, YouTube and whatnot, because they're waking up to the fact that we online are giving the unfiltered reality of what's really going on. That mainstream media, all they want to do is brainwash the hell out of you. And they want to try and create a boogeyman right now, which is us guys, because they hate it that we're taking their audience, we're taking their revenue. Well, guess what? Get used to it. It's 2026. We're the new media, and you mainstream media are going extinct the way of the freaking dodo and the dinosaurs. Now, just on a little bit of a side note, you mentioned earlier on about the Mexican authorities, whereby, the American authorities are saying, we let Mexico know. Mexicans are like, dude, we didn't get the message from you. Let me put it this way. You are really going to put any trust whatsoever in what the Mexican authorities are saying? Come on. The Mexican authorities, from what I know in my research, are just as corrupt, just as bad, if anything, are worse, right? Because of the cartels and the power they have over the authorities, this, that, and the other, right? So it's just as plausible, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, to turn around and think, no, the American authorities did let Mexico know, but Mexico, in one scenario, could have received the communication, bumbled it, lost it, deleted it, whatever, and to cover their tracks and cover their incompetency and, their complete dodginess, they're turning it around and saying, no, we didn't get a message at all. Well, do you know what? Show me the receipts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, of course. I don't disagree with you. But if we're going to talk about bumbling, it's this guy who's literally doing reports where he's complaining.
Actions like that, standing out here in the parking lot and screaming how bad the sheriff is, how does that help this investigation move forward?
I mean, dude, like that dude is doing press interviews to stop people from criticizing him. So if I'm going to call anybody out for the bumbling, it's going to be this guy. You're going to stop us criticizing you just because you told us to. And because you make defamatory Inside Edition pieces telling us to go home and shut up. There seems to be more on our side of the border, people trying to make a mess out of all this. To be honest, now, to be fair, you're not wrong. Who knows what happened in Mexico? Maybe they also just don't want to tell us because it's an active investigation, right? There's still a lot of things that could also be true. We are speculating a bit here. But all I know is it's been way too long. It's been way too long. And then the buck stops with him, because from all the reports that we're seeing, he has not activated the FBI as much as he could have. That's some of the reports that are coming in over his own ego. And we've heard this from very reliable sources within the unions and people that work there. And that worries me. So I hope at some point the Guthries are having the best and most support possible. Maybe they are doing more behind the scenes than we realize. I hope so. But based on everything I'm saying, I don't know, man. This looks really, really bad. The fact that we did a whole bit of this, but the fact that they had 2 massive raids, SWAT raids, where these individuals were nobodies, had no connection, and are now being harassed. How did that happen? How could you be so sure twice and then be so wrong? It makes me have a lot of questions. We will keep answering the questions as best we can here on the channel. So make sure you've subscribed to all these wonderful, beautiful people here. It's Kim, Steph the Alternerd, Nerd Report. Make sure you hit all our bells so you get all our alerts. When you get them, hit that like, leave a comment and help the engagement, because we will keep you updated on this and everything else out there.